Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be working on this Yamaha V-Star 1100 from 2006. So there are a couple of problems that I'm encountering with this and that I am going to fix. It was running initially, but then I later noticed that one problem was that the solenoid was short and it wouldn't crank over because of the bad solenoid. The second problem was that it was seemed to be leaking fuel from the carburetor into the cylinders. So what I'm going to be doing is now the first priority is getting the carburetors, and obviously I have ordered the solenoid, so it should be coming today and we will be installing that as well. I'll show you that as well. And the carburetors, I have bought a new kit, a good quality K&L kit. So what I believe from what I have seen so far is that a person before me has worked on this. He's probably used a Chinese kit, and we will confirm that when we open the carburetor. I can tell you how. But anyways, so he has used probably the cheap Chinese carburetor kit from Amazon, and due to which it is now leaking into the cylinders. And I have encountered the same problem a long time before when, on one of my first bikes that I had worked on, I had also fallen victim to the Chinese kit, and after which I have never used Chinese kit anymore. But yeah, so I have ordered a nice good quality K&L kit from eBay. And so let's go ahead and start off. I've already started off, so I'm just going to show you what all I did. I've removed the seats. So just to remove the seats, it's pretty easy. You have to remove this bolt over here. The rear seat comes off, and then there are two bolts holding the front seat. So once you remove that, the front seat comes off. And this is I've just removed a couple of things over here to get to the solenoid, so it's just apart, as you can see. And now to remove the tank, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to first open these three bolts with an Allen socket. And once you remove that, we are going to open these three nuts, and we're going to take off the speedometer and disconnect it as well. This one I think is an 8mm. I usually, whenever I work, I usually have an 8mm with me. I have a 12mm and a 10mm because these are the most common sizes. So let me just confirm. This is an 8mm. And so we're going to open that, and then we are going to open this, which is a 12mm. Two of them are 12, I believe. Just let me confirm. And yes, there are 12. So this and this are going to be 12mm. So we're going to open that, and obviously we're going to disconnect this, which I've already done. Disconnected this. Even this petcock doesn't seem to be original, so I believe he has also replaced this one, somebody who has all done the work on it before. But anyways, as long as this works, it's fine. Yeah, we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna come back in the video. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a little heads up, so sorry for that, but I just figured out that you don't need to remove the speedometer and you don't need to open this. All you need to do is you just have to remove this cable from here after you have unbolted these. So just push the button over here and just unplug the cable. So I can't do that with one hand, but yeah, you can just push this and unplug this cable, and then the whole tank can come off along with the speedometer and the chrome bezel. So you don't need to remove the chrome bezel or this speedometer, so just don't do that. I just got zoned out for a second, so I just removed it, but I put it back. Okay, so now that we have done that and we have removed the tank, we are going to remove a couple of things from here. Okay, let me just turn this handle so I can show you more clarity. So we are going to remove that screw over there, if I can see. Yeah, that screw for the clamp over here, which basically is the clamp that for this duct that goes inside. So we're going to remove that so that we can remove this, and then we're going to remove these two Allen bolts over here and here. There should be one on the other side or not. Oh, there's one on the bottom, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, one here and then one here. We're going to remove that, and once we do that, this and this, we should be able to remove the whole airbox assembly with this breather hose over here. And then of course we're going to open this one. This is a 10mm, and then for under this are the two places for the where the breather goes. So this, you can see this one, this clamp. This is one, and the screw is actually on the other side, so that's where I'll access it from. And then there's going to be another one on the front. It's hard to show you in this video, but I will show you a better angle when I maybe remove this. So the other one should be on the front side over there. So again, that also has a screw on the other side, so we're going to remove both of those so that we can lift the box up and remove that as well. So let me first remove this, and then I'll show you. If I get more room, I'll show you how it looks like. Okay, so just to give you another look at it, this is how the breather looks, and that is the clamp. This is the screw that I'm talking about. You are going to remove that, and then you're just going to pull the breather off, and that's it. We're going to go on the other side, and I'm going to show you I'm going to show you the other clamps that I was talking about. Okay, so we are on the other side, and the first one is the front one is here. You see the screw over here? Yeah, that's the one. And then the rear one is also here. I can give you a better angle, but you can see that. Where is it? Yeah, there. That's the one. I mean, it's not easy to show you on the video, but yeah, I can see the screw from here. I'm not able to show you the better angle, but yeah, the other one is going to be around here. So you're going to put your screwdriver, loosen it, and then you're going to lift this box up. Of course, you're going to open this screw as well, 10 millimeters. Alright, so we have removed the airbox. Here it is, and there is also a hose over here that connects into the front of the airbox, which obviously you'll figure out once you moved it. So like I said, there are two clamps, one here and one here on this front one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to loosen this clamp over here, and then the clamp for this rear carburetor over here on this side. And then once we do that, we're going to remove these, which will again make it easier for us to move on to the next process. After which we are also going to loosen this one here for the front that connects to the engine. We're going to remove it from here, and then obviously the other one is going to be from this side. You can see here, it's the clamp. We're going to remove loosen this, and then I'm going to show you what to do. We're just going to pull the carburetor out anyways. Yeah. Okay, now I have removed the boots, the intake boots, and I have also loosened the clamps on the front side. We are going to go on the next step, so we are going to loosen this bolt over here and remove this choke cable, which is fairly easy. You can just do it by hand. Just bring it down and remove the choke cable from the holder like this. It's very easy. It's just tucked in there, just like the speedometer. I mean, just like the throttle cable. And that's it. We're going to move that to the side, and now we are also going to see and we are also going to remove the throttle cables. I think we can even do that once we pull out the carburetor, but I'm just going to try to make some room and remove the throttle cables from here, and I'll show you how I did that just after I do it. Alright, so after closely observing everything, we are also going to need to remove this chrome piece over here with which is held by two number 3 Allen. And then we're going to remove this fuel line, which for convenience, because obviously we're going to need to remove that fuel line that goes into the carburetor over here. And then we are going to remove the throttle cable. So let's go ahead and tackle that step by step. Okay guys, so now that we have removed the throttle cables and obviously the fuel line, like I said before, so this is I'm just going to show you how to remove it. You're just going to loosen these bolts, these nuts, and the throttle cable comes off. Sure, pretty much it's very easy. And then we just slide these off, just like how we slid the choke cable off, and we just moved them to the side. I also removed the fuel lines from the bracket over here, so that's easy and gives me room. So now we have this much access, and I also noticed that we had a bunch of connectors going into the carburetor, basically for the solenoids at the bottom and the heater and the throttle position sensor. So we are going to have to disconnect those from here. There are 4 connectors, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Disconnect them from here, and then now we can go ahead and pull out the carburetor. That's it. It's pretty easy. I'm just going to pull that out, and I'm going to show you. So please excuse me, because there was one more thing I forgot to remove, and this is the other fuel line on this other side of the carburetor, the second fuel line. So there are basically 2 fuel lines going to the carburetors, one for that one and one for this one, for the right one. So I just forgot that, because some carburetors, even though they are dual carb bikes, they have just a single hose going to both ones, but this one has two different ones. So anyways, you're gonna remove this also, and then we can pull out the carburetor. Okay, and finally we got the carburetor out. The way I took it off is I just maneuvered it, like this, like I just moved it around and just removed it from this side. It's easy, you just have to maneuver it a little bit, and it's fairly easy. It comes off, it's not too much of a struggle, and that's it. Now we're just going to block these holes off so nothing goes and lives inside the engine, and then then we're going to go ahead and start the work on the carburetor, replace the float needle and the floats, and I'll check the gasket. We'll see what's happening in the carburetor. So I have the carburetors off, and now on my workbench, forgive me for my messy workbench, there's a lot of stuff going on over here, but here's the carburetor. We have removed it, it's upside down, and these are the carburetor kits. They come with the float needle and the float seat and the gasket, which are some of the most important things that you need to rebuild the carburetor, at least the lower end. And this is made in Japan, really high quality, and these are the things that you are supposed to get, not the cheap Chinese stuff that you get for $10. I mean, it might be cheap and you might be tempted to buy it, but the thing is, you are going to have to do the job again. Like right now, I'm having to do the job again because I believe somebody has used a cheap Chinese kit or probably hasn't done the job properly when they did it. We're gonna find that out, but anyways, so we're gonna put this to the side. These costed me about $50, including tax and shipping. And so we are going to remove the screws on the float bowls. We are first going to disconnect these heater cables from here. There's one on this side and there's one on the other one as well, somewhere around somewhere here. We're going to disconnect these, and then we're just going to disconnect this from the holders. So this bracket, we're just going to loosen this so that we can, once we remove the bowls, it's not hanging by anything. We're just going to remove these. You just, for this round one, you just have to pull it back, but I can't do it with one hand. It's a little hard on there. And then there's another one, there's a flat one. Both of them you just have to pull outwards. Just be careful. You can use a pair of pliers also. Just grab it on the front and just pull it in the back. And apart from that, I don't think you need to remove anything. These wires this is just the solenoid. It just comes off. You don't need to do anything. It's just loosen it from this zip tie. It'll just come off. Other than that, there are 4 screws. Obviously, we're going to remove those 4 screws to remove the bowl, and then we're going to go ahead and look at it deeper. Alright, so while I was removing this, I removed the cables as I suggested. There are 2 cables over here and just a single one over here, and then that whole wiring loom comes off. We put it to the side, and now we have a lot more room. Another thing I'd like to point out, that there was definitely a leak from this carburetor, even from the float bowl, because there was like fuel residue all over the wiring over here when I was pulling the carb off. I noticed that. I forgot to tell you guys. But anyways, so I removed these screws and I just ran into a small issue. It's not coming up, and you might also encounter that same issue. So just to let you know, this heater plug might be coming in the way of the cover, and it might be hindering and not allowing the cover to lift off. So all you're going to need to do is you're going to need a nice I have a long socket over here, 10mm long socket. You can just put it on this, and we will loosen this up and remove this, and that'll make it easier, and we can put it back once we're done cleaning the carburetor and everything. We can just put it back. Okay, so we have removed the the bowl and this gasket looks like it's new. It doesn't look too old, but let's see what we figure out, or I don't know, could be a variety of reasons. So now we're just going to remove this float from here, and to remove this float you're going to need to loosen this screw over here. These are jets. We're obviously going to clean the jets while we are here, but the priority is the fuel leak, so we are going to first address the float bowl problem. Alright guys, so I have removed the float and the needle, and this is the first problem that I have found out, is that the needle is defective. For one, you can see the float needle over here, and you can see that the little spring over there, there's a little spring over there that's supposed to be up. this little pointer thing. But as soon as I pressed it with my screwdriver to test it, it just went down and it stuck. So this is definitely defective, and this is also what can cause a problem. And I believe this is a Chinese. It looks to me from the way it was. I don't know. It just looks to me like it's a Chinese one. It's not an original one. I will also look at the other one that was actually leaking and try to figure out what's going on. And then we're also going to remove the seat and see how that is. Is it very loose or not? Because usually what happens is, if the seat is not original, I mean not a good quality one, it's going to be very loose. Like you can just pull it out. The seal is not going to seal properly, and then it's going to leak fuel from the sides. And even if the float needle is working, it's not going to do a good job because the o-ring on the side is not sealing the fuel, so it's still going to leak into the carburetor. That's the problem with the Chinese ones. And yes guys, I was absolutely right. This is not an original one. This came out very easily. I just pulled it out. I just used my needle nose pliers and just pulled it out, and it came out in like in 1 second. There should be if this is a good quality original one, there should be quite a bit of resistance on this. You can see, don't know if you can see or not, but yeah, I mean, yeah, this o-ring is not good, definitely not good. And you know, this doesn't, it's pretty much not original, I believe. Yeah, because if this was a genuine good kit, then it would have been stuck tight inside, and you know, this o-ring would be holding it really hard inside. In this case it's not, so definitely this has been, you know, somebody's used this shitty Chinese one, and you know, it's causing problems. So we are going to replace that. We're going to reuse this filter, obviously, because the new one does not come with the filter. And we're just going to put it on the side for a second. And also, just to let you know guys, to remove the seat, there's a small screw over here that you need to remove, after which it comes off. So yeah, once you do that, the seat comes off. Alright guys, so I've cleaned the carburetor and everything. I've also checked the jets, cleaned them again, just to make sure that the passages are clean and clear. And now what I did is I took the filter out from the old seat and put it under the new seat. And now all you're going to need to do is you are just going to need to press it back in. You can do this with your finger, and that's it. It should go back inside and sit snug. You can just press it a little harder, and once we tighten the screw, it will keep it in there and it won't leak or anything. And that's it. And this is the new needle. So like I was telling you earlier, if you can see the new needle, that little pin is on the top. So basically that is spring loaded, so it's supposed to be on the top, and whenever you press it with a screwdriver or something small, it should go down and, you know, have and come back, you know, like a spring basically. So if that's not working, then you're going to have problems. You can have problems. Obviously this is the new one, so you have the nice new tip, nice good quality kit. And I'm also going to change the gasket over here, because the kit came with a new one, so we might as well just use the new gasket. That's it. Alright, so we have assembled everything. We have installed the new needle seats, the gaskets, and the needles, and assembled everything back together. Now we're going to just do the reverse process, and we're going to put it on the bike, and I'm going to try to show you whatever I can, but it's basically the reverse of how we removed it. We're just going to install the carburetors back. It's pretty easy, simple, just the reverse of what we did. Alright, so basically we have installed the carburetor back. Like I said, it's just a reverse of how we took it out. For now, what we have done is install the carburetors, put the intake manifold boots on, tighten the clamps here and on the intake manifold boots, install the throttle cables. Make sure that after you install the throttle cables, there is a little bit of play in the throttle over here on the top. Sometimes, you know, the setting goes off and then it's really stiff. You want a little bit of play in there, so you can adjust it using this nut, and you know, that's how you adjust it. And there should be a little bit of play in there. Now we're going to go ahead and connect these fuel lines back on, the one on this side and the one on that side. And then I have also connected the choke cable. this is a reverse of what we did. And now that's it. Then we are going to obviously install the airbox back on, and then we are going to put the other airbox back on. That's it. Alright, I'm just getting close to finishing everything up. Just wanted to give you guys show you guys the update. So like I said, everything is just the reverse of what we did in the beginning. We have connected the cables, connected the wires, the connections for everything, and then you have I have also connected this chrome. I've also attached this chrome piece back because we are done with this side. Connected the fuel lines over here, and everything is perfect. I've tightened the box over here with the 10mm back, and tightened all the screws for the airbox with the intake manifold, and I've attached this manifold. And now the last thing is I've also attached this fuel line, by the way. And last thing is we're going to attach the airbox back onto the back where it belongs, and that should be it. And then we'll just put the tank back on and try to start it and see how it runs. And obviously I'm going to do this, I'll show you that as well, the solenoid thing. Okay guys, now that we have installed the airbox and everything, what we are going to do is, before we install the tank, we're going to install the new starter solenoid. So this is the old starter solenoid. The problem with this is that it's not engaging fully. It's not so there is no current being provided to the starter. It's just making a small clicking sound, but not the, it should make there's a more pronounced click that it makes, that you can hear, but it's a very faint, you can only feel the click. And anyways, but basically the way this works is, when you press the button over here, the starter button, what it does is once this is all connected, it transfers the 12-volt power from here to this terminal, and this is basically where this is connected to the starter. So that's how the starter gets its power. And in this case it's not doing that, and there's no power to this side. There is power coming here, the fuses are good, all these connections are good, but there is no power being outputted on this terminal. So what we are going to do is we're going to replace this. And my recommendation is, if you're ever replacing a starter solenoid, whether it be on this bike or any other bike, always try to get the OEM one or a used one at least, but don't get the Chinese ones, because I have also experienced that once, and it's a nightmare. You'd have more problems with that, and then you have to do it all over again. So just don't get the cheap ones on Amazon or anything like that. They are cheap, they just don't work. I had bought one for another bike once, and it just lasted, it didn't even last a day, like a day or two, and a few clicks and it just, I don't want to talk about it. But anyways, so I got a used good one from eBay. This is a used good one, same part number. Just make sure you have the right part number for it. This is very similar to that of the Yamaha V-Star 650, but the V-Star 650 and the V-Star 1100 have a totally different part number. So make sure that when you buy it, buy the correct one with the correct part number. And don't use I could have used a V-Star 650 one, but I just don't want to, because I just checked that they had different part numbers, so I don't want to go ahead. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and connect this. All you're gonna need to do is this goes in this way. So the positive terminal from the battery is going to come in, connect on this terminal. This is the one that goes to the starter, that's here. This is the positive terminal coming from the battery. I have disconnected the battery. Also make sure whenever you're doing this, disconnect the battery terminals, because you don't want to short anything or anything like that when you're doing it. So always have the battery disconnected when you're dealing with the starter. Also, I'm going to remove this rubber thing, because this rubber holder, because the rubber is already there. So that's all I'm going to do, and I'm going to place this inside, and then we are going to test it if it's cranking or not. Okay, stay tuned. Okay guys, so unfortunately I had run into an issue. I told you guys that I will be installing the solenoid, which I did, and I tested it. But unfortunately what happened was, this one which I purchased from eBay was just clicking, and it was not providing power to this other terminal. So that means that this is basically bad. I checked, everything else was good, all the other wires and fuses were good. So this is definitely bad. So now, instead of waiting, I had another option. I had another solenoid from a V-Star 650 parts bike that I had before. So what I did was I installed that, and now it's working. But the only problem with that one was the terminals, the polarity is different on that solenoid. So basically, like on this one you have the positive terminal coming and attaching to this side, whereas on the V-Star 650, the way it works on the V-Star 650 or the Roadstar has the same part. The positive terminal attaches to this side over here. So if I tried attaching it to this side, but it didn't work, it didn't do anything. So I understood that, you know, the polarity is it's this, the solenoid is polarity specific. So not all solenoids are, but this is. So what I did was I just, you know, it usually sits like this. I just turned it around. I connected the positive terminal here, as you can see on that one, and I connected the starter here, and I connected the regular wire connector as the same. So the wire connector, the 4-pin wire connector is connected, and now it works perfectly, and the bike even starts. Let me just show you guys. And that's it. Now all I'm going to do is, now that's done, now I'm just going to put everything back together. And last, what I have to do is what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be changing the engine oil, and that's it. After which we should be good, and we will take this bike out for a test drive. I'll just put everything back the way it was supposed to be, the seats and everything, which is basically the reverse of removing it. So that's it, and then I will probably make another follow-up video to this project. This is it for this video, and then once I have it all installed and everything, we are going to, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, share and subscribe, and if you have any questions or anything, you can feel free to contact me and comment in the comment section below. I'll be more than happy to answer to however many comments there are. So don't be shy, ask questions if you have any questions, and thank you again for watching.